This Tamil film is not just sensitive and haunting, but also executed brilliantly. Let's talk. Hello guys, I'm Nona Prince and I finally watched the Tamil film Chithha, such a highly recommended film. You know, it's really hard to talk about films which are dealing with such sensitive issues because somewhere the issue is greater than what the film is. That's what makes the film important. But when you're talking about a film, you want to comment on its filmmaking. How did the filmmaking dealt with this sensitive issue? How with storytelling you took it to the next level? So are you using the issue as a trap to use it just as a plot point to sell your film, or are you trying to make a difference with it? The intentions matter, and sometimes the intentions are good but the execution is not, and that's where a disconnect is created. And if you talk about that disconnect, many feel that you are against the film, you are against the message of the film. Now in case of Chithha, none of that applies because the issue is dealt with so much sensitivity. Plus, it's an outstanding film. First, let's talk about the performances. And before I come to the main cast of the film, I will talk about the supporting actors. For the junior artists who just had, a 2-minute role or just one dialogue. That's what makes a difference between a good film and a great film. These are minute details, and there are many films that will not pay attention to this. They'll just cast anyone they got, or it's just one line, who cares? No, it matters. Everything adds to a great film. Every little small detail. So you have to give it to the film that at no point the immersion breaks. At no point you see someone acting. You see these characters and you see their story. Coming to the main cast, Siddharth was amazing as always. Nimisha was so good. But the ones who stood out were the child actors. Sahasra Shree, who played Sundari, and Aafiyah Tasneem, who played Ponni. So brilliant. Like outstanding. I cannot even fathom how. Like what did the director tell them? Like what do you have to act? Because a lot of acting comes from experiences. If not yours, something you have witnessed. And these are kids. These are 8-10-year-old kids. What did you tell them? Because the things they are portraying in the film is so traumatic that even an adult will find difficult to portray that. But these kids, they were flawless. You felt they have gone through a miserable thing. Something that no one should go through. But they did. Like how do you create that through these actors who are just born, who are just come into the world? They don't even know what the world is. They don't fully understand it. I want to know from the director Arun Kumar, what were the directions to them? How did you brought this amazing performance? And again, I'm emphasizing on the point to make us feel what the film wants to. There are easier ways to do it. There are images or sounds you can show and already we'll feel disgusted and sorry for these souls. You don't need to bring out these amazing performances for them. But no, the film goes to that extent that we need performance. Now when you have child actors on your set, you cannot just bring them and make them act. You need to have more people to look after them. There are special rules to be followed when child artists are on set. There are many things in play, and I don't know if there's some controversy or not, but I would assume there would be some organization who would question why are you making kids act in such a film. But the message of the film, what it's trying to show, is very important, and I'm hoping the kids were well treated. Now technically the film is so good. The way it is shot, the compositions, the framing of characters, they are telling a story themselves. When we are with the family, the uncle and niece, everything is shot tightly. There are many mid shots, close-ups, the way the house is shot, the streets, it's all compact, as if it's just a small world these characters live in, because that's their world. There's nothing else to them. But when they are separated, suddenly the world becomes big. There are so many wide shots where you can see the horizon. It feels like it's infinite. How to find each other, where to go. There's a use of the blue color a lot, different shades of it, which makes our characters stand out. And as the film progresses, the colors become more muted because they are drained away from this child. And you can do all of this when the writing is strong. It is so well written. Throughout the film, you just feel so uncomfortable when nothing has happened, but something's gonna happen. That's the way the film is shot. That's the way it moves. That's the way the music is used. Something bad is gonna happen. It's just coming. It's on its way. You are scared. You have butterflies in your stomach. You're just hoping nothing bad happens, but it will. And it's not that you have seen the trailer so the sense of danger coming is part of the narrative, the atmosphere the film builds. There are moments, there are interactions between characters which tells you that there's lot in the past, but we never go to that. We sense there's something, there's pain, there's trauma, but it's never shown to us. And that's the beauty of the writing. And so many moments in the film are shot through a POV where everything is hidden. They are purposely not trying to show us what's happening because it's happening in the shadows. And that's true. All this happens in front of our eyes, but we are blind to it. We don't see it. And that's the issue the film is talking about, the heinous crime. And I like that the film film explores it totally. It shows you how it all unfolds, how these predators attack the victims, the methods they use, how they get away with it, the detailed working, how the kids are unaware what's happening. They don't understand what's happening and they have to be told about this. And it also talks about how the parents are unaware, how they are not in touch with their children. Even Siddharth's character, who's so paranoid about his niece, he's always on time to pick her up. He gets angry if she's not there. He's everywhere protecting her, but still it happens. How kids are not told what is wrong and right. They are just handed over a mobile to play. They are just distracted so the parents can do their work. And then comes someone who misuses that. And that's what this film does so well. It educates the people. And I think this is one of the first films, if I remember correctly, I have seen a moment in the film where a child is told about bad touch. Because even the films dealing with the subject matter, they don't actually get into all this. And there's so many cases where such things are happening inside a family. And be it this, be it the Me Too movement, or any such case of sexual misconduct or sexual harassment, mostly there is no proof. Every person is not carrying a camera on them to record everything. So every time it comes to, you have to get other evidences to prove that something really happened. And that many times can be wrongful also, which we see in this film, where Siddharth's character gets into trouble because people think he is the culprit. Why? Because there's some other evidences that points to him being the culprit. So when something is so complex, the only way out is to educate everyone. Now the film also talks about the idea of taking revenge, about the vigilante justice. In a lawless land, it makes sense for vigilante justice. But we don't live in a lawless land. We live in a society where there's law, there's judiciary, which is not perfect, it's far from it, but still, to live in a civil world, we need to follow it. And at some point, the justice will come. But the moment you take law in your own hand, and then everyone start doing it, then it's just a chaos. That the heinous crime the culprit did, he needs to get justice from our own hands. That we'll take law in our hand because the crime is so heinous. Now here in the film, I felt the messaging very confusing. Now there are scenes in the film with Nimisha's character where it's trying to tell that revenge is not the answer. How many people you'll go and kill? That revenge will do nothing. It's just for your own closure. And I also felt those scenes became repetitive. But the character in the film takes the revenge. And then he comes back to the niece where he realizes that what this child needs is being with her. That's more important than the revenge. And the film ends there. But then we have a tag along scene which implies that he really took revenge. Or someone else took it. Or was it the same person? It left so many questions which are unanswered. Now the one way to look at it is it's a warning for the people watching the movie. That if you are someone like that, justice will come. Or maybe it's an open ending. You can assume whatever you want to. But for me, it just made me confused. But that's not true for this Tamil film, where the message was pretty clear. Jigatanda Double X, what an outstanding film. Check out my review here. What do you guys think about the film? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I will see you next time.